I hadn't really allowed for this little slide with my name, so I might just like hang around by the microphone. Oh, here we go. Hi. So my name is Oliver Braid, and I'm an artist that lives in Glasgow. I graduated from the MFA at Glasgow School of Art in 2010, and since then I've sort of been working in the city still to produce a variety of different projects that examine kind of factors that might influence kind of the production and the reasons for making art. Since January 2012, I've just been working really non-stop on a series of exhibitions and other projects that have kind of carried me through to this point here at Tramway and are going to continue until March 2012, when I think I might take a holiday. I think the reason, like, I'm totally working at full capacity, but I just find it really difficult to say no to things, which is why I'm still kind of taking extra work on. I think there's like 3 reasons for this. One of them is because I'm really grateful when people show interest. One of them is because, like, this guy down here, I don't really know what I'd do if I wasn't working. And, like, the last one, which I think is most important, is that, like, I have quite high expectations of myself, and I sort of imagine that if I keep on working like this, I'll feel happier in the long run. So this obsession with happiness in the future has been, like, a big preoccupation for me this year in 2011. And it became one of the main focuses for a project that I developed for my current exhibition that's at Collective. And one of the main outcomes of this was kind of a hypothesis of that expectation would kind of potentially play a damaging part in artists' careers. So at the minute, like I said, I'm just really super busy. I've been working like maybe 10 hours each day for like 7 days a week. And so I haven't really started to think about the festive season yet. This is really the first time I did it. But I know it's only December today, so I've got a while. I suppose one of the reasons that I'm really conscious of it is that in my mum's house, I suppose Christmas really starts in kind of August, September or something, since like when I became an adult and she had to like give up, or Father Christmas kind of stopped delivering presents and my mum had to kind of take the reins, if you will. She likes to get the list in as soon as possible and really have all of that stuff kind of under control. By about November time is when all the presents are supposed to be bought. This is a primary school. My mum's a primary school teacher, and I think that that's what's given her this kind of timetable attitude to living, which normally I really appreciate, but at the minute I've been super busy, so I just haven't been able to give her a list. Also, I find the kind of Christmas list concept a bit disappointing. Like, I find it a bit like a mail order catalogue now, where I just say what I want, and then I know I'll get it as long as I just wait for a certain amount of time. So, like, at the minute, I've got to be honest, like, I sort of have Christmas fantasies in my head where we just don't plan anything and we sort of just let it happen. I really appreciate the effort that my mum goes to, but I sort of just feel a bit sad that I miss the kind of surprise of Santa's routine where you just don't know what you're going to get, and you get up in the morning and there's a stocking, like all of those things. So, but in a way, I'm kind of my own worst enemy, because I sort of say this kind of stuff to my mum, but what she says about surprise present buying is she's worried about what she refers to as my particular ideas about things, and she gets a bit worried that if she buys something, it won't really live up to these kind of particular ideas. So I guess my mum and me are both thinking about these kind of potential problems of expectation. I'm probably going to say the word expectation a lot during this presentation. What I mean when I say expectation is kind of a positive psychology term known as effective forecasting. And so I'm going to maybe use that a little bit as well. So I'll probably just give a quick explanation about what I think effective forecasting is. I sort of take it to mean when humans predict how they're going to feel about something that might happen to them in the future, and they sort of attribute an imagined kind of hedonic effect to the future situation, like receiving a gift or like going on holiday and how they're going to feel. But the main problem with these predictions actually is that it's quite difficult to predict in the present how you're going to feel in the future. So this really gives me a paradox about the Christmas list to kind of back me up. It's like, if I write a Christmas list in September, October, November, how am I going to know that I'm going to feel like happy when I get those gifts in December? That seems like quite a long way away, especially obviously with someone with like particular ideas. I mean, they might come back into play. So the kind of alternative is the surprise, and the problem I think with the surprise, the kind of Santa method, is that I sort of expect that I will feel some kind of excitement about the surprise, But actually, these are kind of based on previous memories from my childhood. And another thing that I've learned this year in my studies of positive psychology have been about kind of how, it's sort of about rationalization, which is when the brain maybe takes a disappointment from the past and turns it into something where you kind of alchemize it into a logical justification. So if I got these horrible socks for Christmas, for example, when I come back in January, even if I was disappointed, if it's cold in Glasgow and I've got no socks, my brain might suddenly think, oh, what an insightful gift. So I feel happy. To keep you abreast of the Christmas gift situation at the minute, I have ordered a coat through my mum, but she says she's still a little bit worried because it's on the internet. I sent her the hyperlink, and she's a bit worried that when it comes back, my particular ideas might come into play, and I'll end up being a bit disappointed again. But what I really wanted to share with you is my lesson for 2011. I spent the whole time saying, I'll look forward to it, was actually going to have a negative effect on my enjoyment of the situation. Whereas actually now I think that I love expectation. I think it's really magical, it really motivates me. And what I need to learn better about is rationalisation and kind of remembering the phrase perhaps, I'll get used to it. Okay, so I'm a bit worried that I spent this whole presentation talking about gift giving. And I'm sure that we all know that Christmas isn't about giving and receiving gifts. For me it's kind of about remembering the birth of quite a special man who's kind of influenced and inspired and comforted me through a sort of calm philosophical approach. This is Quentin Crisp. He was born in 1908 on December the 25th, and despite being at odds with his time and probably experiencing a lot of disappointment, he developed a philosophy of acceptance, which has often helped me to kind of remember about alchemizing my attitude. And I just want to end by reading one of his messages of hope. What he says is, this is a quote, "If a man demands a lot from fate, he'll probably receive something. If he wants but little, he'll almost certainly get nothing. In the long run, in spite of everything, I've been very lucky. I asked for bread and was given a stone. It turned out to be precious." Thanks for listening. Have an expectant Christmas.